What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to our Liverpool versus Salzburg Champions League preview. You guys know when I have these cans on my head, I'm not on my own, and today I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Mr. Brian Morrissey. Brian, how are you, sir?
Fantastic, Craig. Fantastic.
I tell you what, mate, I always get excited talking about Champions League football. We went a little period without Champions League football. Now we're starting to take it for granted. I mean, why wouldn't you, mate, when you're lifting European Cups for fun?
Two Champions League finals in a row. Hey, look, not the best result in the world against Napoli, but we know we're on the road to something again. We're still going to be involved in this till pretty deep quarterfinal semis. That's just
I
what
agree.
really, isn't it?
I agree, and you can see what it meant to Napoli, how much they rate us, and how good they know that win was for them. That they were celebrating that, mate, like they'd won the damn thing.
You had a few kind of Lorente took his revenge for however that works out. But it shows that we are a serious scout now, and we should probably, as fans, maybe take ourselves a little bit more seriously as well, because we're not just here by accident. This is a proper, solid Champions League winning football team. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be around.
Damn right. I think it's fair to say as well. It probably will be ourselves and Napoli that get out of this group. I suppose that order is still to be sorted out. I think we'll finish top personally, but 2-0 loss away from home. We'll have to reverse that scoreline in Anfield. But I think this is a group, Brian, where you might see some people dropping points, and we're playing against Salzburg on Wednesday. And when that draw was made, I said over and over again to people, do not underestimate how decent this Salzburg side are.
Yeah, it you've got your Red Bull stuff, which some people don't like, some people don't care about. It's the modern game, but it's a real proving ground, that place. There's like it's a line. It's they go here, then they go there. They go to Salzburg, then they go to Leipzig, and they sell them and they make money. But they do it time and time again. Mane, like we have been the beneficiary of these teams building proper squads, identifying the best young talent, bringing them there and going saying, look, if you can do well for Salzburg, look where Naby Keita is, look where Mane is. The pathway is there. So you underestimate a team like that at your peril. Now, it's at home, so we should be able to deal with that. But it's similar enough to kind of Ajax kind of situation where you may not have heard of a lot of their players, but you look at them and you see a lot of them are pretty young. And in a few years' time, you'll definitely know who a lot of them are. Like, we'll probably go on to talk about the lad Haaland.
Well, that's exactly where I was going to go, and you made a very good point. It is a proving ground, and it is a place where young people particularly can go prove themselves at a high level and then get that big move on to another club. As you've said, you've cited many cases of players that have moved on for whether it be Leipzig or Salzburg, and indeed in Naby Keita's case, he was playing with Sadio Mane at Salzburg. I think that's where their friendship grew. And you touched on the young lad Haaland there. He seems to be in fantastic form. The son of Alfie Inga Howland, for those wondering where that name might sound familiar. But it seems like, mate, they're sweating on the fitness of him ahead of this game on Wednesday.
Yeah, fantastic form is a bit of an understatement there, man. I think he has 17 goals already this
Yeah.
season, and he'll be a very very new name to a lot of people as he was to me. As you said, the surname isn't a new name. Anybody that's an Irish football fan will know Haaland, Roy Keane. There's a lot of history there. So
Take that, you cunt.
yeah, it's that if he ends up playing for Man United one day, it might be interesting. But the kid,
I think his dad's already come out and said he wouldn't have an issue with that. Actually, I
yeah,
think I read that somewhere.
yeah, he's not so dumb as to say, oh, he won't play for them. He'll be seen. A lot of people will look at him and think, wow, he's enormous because he's huge. He's really, really big. But I was listening to someone earlier on, a Norwegian journalist that was talking about his development and said that the guy is massive now because he grew in the space of 2 years. He grew sort of, about 6 inches. But he had developed a lot of his technique and his ability and his skill set before that because he was quite a young, diminutive type player. So people look at him now as he's kind of, how is this huge guy so skillful? It's because he had a growth spurt in the middle of his development, by which stage he'd already become quite skillful. So he's now become this kind of a hybrid Lukaku, stroke, I don't know, Aguero type player where he's got all the skills, but he's also got the size to intimidate any player at any level. So the guy is, he's one of 8 in 5 years' time, who knows? But he could be a superstar. He's got all the ability, and it'll be brilliant to see, hopefully, because I think it's just a sickness rather than a muscle injury or something like that. I'm really looking forward to seeing him because he's one of those guys you hear a lot about, and let's see how he does. The biggest stage, you don't get bigger than Anfield, the home of the European champions.
6-time European champions, motherfuckers. For those watching in any doubt of Liverpool being European royalty. On the young lads, you're right. It is an illness. I think that they said the next 48 hours they're going to know more about. Well, I think this was yesterday or the day before. They'll know whether he'll be available or not. Look, for us, if he's not available, it's definitely a bonus. But as you touched on earlier on, mate, we should be looking to win our home games in the Champions League. And with all due respect to Salzburg, we are European champions. We should be beating them at Anfield. I've tried to do my predicted 11 for this one, and it's very difficult, I have to say. My 11 might surprise a couple of people, but let me talk you through it and then I'll give you my reasoning. So obviously Adrian in goal. We had confirmation that Alisson won't be ready this side of the international break, so fair enough to say Adrian in goal. I'm not changing the back four at all, Brian. Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson. I think that pretty much picks itself at this moment in time. No, I lie. I have made a change. Sorry.
Gomez.
Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson.
Okay,
yes,
so Gomez a right back.
No, I've gone Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson. I've gone Gomez, the partner Van Dijk for this one.
Oh, you've dropped Matip then, okay.
I don't like the word drop. Rested, rotated. I think it's just, maybe it's because I was listening to the Gomez talking during the week and he was saying that he doesn't like the lack of game time he's getting, but he does he does understand it because of how well Joe Matip has played since he's come in, since Gomez had that leg fracture at Burnley last season.
He has respect for Matip. I like that. It shows he has a respect for Matip to go, damn, I am not happy with this, but that guy is stepping up serious. So if I was doing what Matip is doing and I'm Gomez, like, would I want to be... He's looking at it from the proper player's point of view. He'll know that Matip will say, I've done nothing wrong. I shouldn't be dropped. Gomez will go, I should be in, but I have to wait for my chance. It's a good chance, though.
The reason I've gone for Gomez in there is I just think maybe Matip might need a little bit of a rest ahead of the Leicester game, because for me, the league's the priority. I mean, as big as the Champions League is, I think we're capable of winning this game. If this was away from home, I'd be dropping Joe Matip in there, but I think Gomez alongside Van Dijk will do no harm. Midfield it's always a difficult area to pick 3 people from, and again I might shock a few people here who I've gone with. I've gone for Fabinho obviously in the 6 because he's just perfect in that role, but I've gone for James Milner and Naby Keita to start this game. Keita obviously got 60 minutes against the MK Dons. He knows Salzburg, as we spoke about earlier on, Brian, and I think Jimmy Milner in there as well, just to give Hendo a bit of a rest and to freshen things up a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a really nice combination, man. I have to say props to you on that one because, like every single Liverpool fan on the planet, we just want to see more of Naby Keita. We just want to see Naby in the team, getting the minutes, to getting to the point where it's just he plays now. Because we heard Pep Linders in the press conference last week, really talking him up, really bigging up Naby, and it's getting to the point now where we have to see that full time. Fabinho, Naby Keita, and someone else. That needs to be Liverpool's midfield. And Naby's fitness.
It was difficult not to put Oxlade-Chamberlain in there, I have to say. And I'll move on to another reason why I didn't play Oxlade-Chamberlain in a second, because I'm going to shock people with my front 3 again. Although I don't know if that midfield is too much of a shocker. I think it's more common sense, again, with a massive game against Leicester.
No, Milner is the right shout as well, because let's not forget, it is Salzburg. Gomez is the right shout because he needs minutes and it's Salzburg. No disrespect, but it's at Anfield. You can bring that one person in. Milner, he's not going to let anyone down, so you bring him in. Keita needs the time, needs the minutes. I think you're bang on. I totally agree with that so far.
The Keita thing, I thought maybe if he still only gets another 60, if the medical team think he needs 60 max, then that's why Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain would be there on the bench to come in as a perfect replacement for him, particularly if we're looking to push for a goal. Front three, there's a few injury doubts around our squad at the minute, a couple of people who sat out of training. So with that in mind, I've gone for Divock, Origi, Mohamed Salah and Bobby Firmino. I've actually left Sadio Mane on the bench for this one, or maybe not fit, because I didn't think he looked himself in the last game. Again, I want to save him for the game against Leicester. I thought Divock looked really bright when he came on. And I think Divock deserves a chance as well. And if there's any doubt whatsoever over Sadio Mane's fitness, I don't want us taking a chance on him, Brian.
No, I think you're doing the proper manager's job on that there. You're picking the one little tweak that you can make, giving the guy that needs a game, and giving the guy that didn't just have the best game of his life a little bit of a timeout on the bench. It's the right player at the right time. We all know what our first 11 is, bar maybe one in midfield. So when you have these games, it's about dropping or resting or rotating the players that will look at the manager and go, yeah, totally expected that. No, he needs minutes. He needs to come in. I can't play every game, boss. Those are the players you need to be resting. You need resting the players that are going, yeah, thanks. Not the players that are going, what did I do wrong?
I've seen some crazy score predictions as well in our live chat during recent streams for this one. For me, mate, I've gone for a 3-1 win for the Reds. I'd love us to keep a clean sheet, but Salzburg score goals. That's one thing I've noticed from their league games, their European runs. Obviously, they absolutely battered Genk in the first game as well. So I've gone for 3-1. What's your score prediction on this one?
Yeah, I'd go with that. It's probably a 2-0 game. So that's probably a good call. We should be 2 goals better than them, but I do expect them to score. So it should be around that. Yeah, 3-1 is probably a decent shout. Because
any tweaks or changes you'd make to the starting 11, or would you want to just give us your own starting 11 perhaps?
No, I wouldn't. I think we're kind of stuck with Trent at the moment. I would definitely bring Gomez in. I'd definitely start Van Dijk, because he should shackle that lad, and I wouldn't want to bring. We have to get to 3 points in this game. You can't. You can have a little slip up away at Napoli and go, right, well, that's the game in that group that we lose. This has to be 3 points. So you just supplement around. I keep it pretty strong at the start. I do what you did. I bring in Gomez and Matip. That shouldn't be a problem as long as Van Dijk is playing. The midfield, if Keita is fit, play him all day long. We need to get him in the team. We need to get him minutes. Milner, he's been rested recently, so he's perfect for this. And Fabinho, yeah, hopefully. I wouldn't be going so far as to changing him for Henderson. We might do that. Yeah, it is a pick then but I think one of the front three needs to sit it out to let Origi come in and to let him get more minutes under his belt. I think it's all pretty straightforward like that, and then just have lads you can bring on if it's not working. But I don't think it shouldn't be working. I think
the only kind of Hail Mary change I could see perhaps there, and I'd be baffled, is if Lallana came in instead of Fabinho, which would absolutely knock me for 6, I have to say, if Klopp did that.
Yeah, and 6, no pun intended. So it would be Henderson maybe instead of Fabinho in that 6th row. Maybe if Fabinho says, look, boss, I wouldn't mind a night off if there's one going. It should be a very manageable game. Salzburg players should be coming out. 70% of them should be looking around going, fucking hell, Anfield, eh? European night. Nice one. Whereas a couple of them, I'm going to make a name for myself here. But we should handle that game pretty easily. So Gomez needs minutes. Lallana doesn't. Lovren doesn't. It's Chamberlain, yes. But I just go solid in midfield with Milner and Keita, hopefully, if he's fit. That's what I just want to see Keita on the pitch. It's becoming a thing now. It really is. We need to see Naby Keita on the pitch week in, week out.
I think
It's
Europe will prove a good place for him to get a rhythm back as well. The style of football I think will be easier for him to transition to rather than catch up with the pace of the Premier League, perhaps, where you don't get as much time. It's a much faster paced game. But that in mind, mate, I want to have a quick look at the group because you touched on something earlier on. You said that we should be looking to win all our home games, and you're right, we should. And I think we
oh,
will.
yeah.
So let's take that into, let's say we do. So that's 9 points. You'd fancy us home and away against Genk as well, to be fair. So you'd fancy us to get to 12 over there. Salzburg away for Napoli for ourselves. It's gonna be a difficult enough trip. Let's say we reverse and we beat Napoli at home. It could be the Salzburg away game for both clubs that will determine who finishes top of this group.
Probably should be, yeah, because it's the only one in it. It really is. They're an unknown quantity for almost everybody. Um, and they will have a massive, like, they walk games over there. It's kind of like Celtic when Rangers were in the bottom leagues. It just depends on how strong that translates to European football because they just walk games. It should. But to be honest, I'd expect Napoli to beat them because Ancelotti's too clever, and I expect us to beat them. But our record in group games isn't brilliant. It's not brilliant at all.
Away from
Especially
home, it's been shocking, to be fair.
it isn't like so. Do we do that and then scrape through? Uh, that's why it's like tomorrow. Tomorrow night's game. We really do actually have to win that game.
Yeah,
Like we
looking at
can't.
the group table, like Napoli on 3 points, Salzburg on 3 points, yourself and Genk on zero. So yeah, you got to get on the board here.
Yeah, we do, and we don't want to be 1-0 up with 85 minutes to go. And we need to go out and win this. We need to be comfortable enough. Half time, maybe 2-0 up, something like that. We don't want to be kind of doing what we did against Sheffield United, or there comes a point where you have to turn it back on, and you have to start going. No, lads, look, this is Liverpool.
Yeah, what you want to happen is 65, 70 minutes, as you said, be at least a couple up.
Yeah,
The gaffer looks at the pitch and goes, right, you're coming off, and you're coming off because I actually need you for Saturday against Leicester City. And that's
don't
the
give,
ideal scenario.
yeah, don't give them a sniff at all because they have players. They have young players, players with quality, players that are looking to make their name, players that are looking to go, hey, look, this is why I came to Salzburg. Like I may be on the losing team, but I'll crack one in from 25 yards because that's what I'm capable of, and people will notice. You got to be worried.
Yeah, I think they'll be respectful of us. I think we'll be respectful of them. But all in all, mate, I think we probably will pick up the 3 points and get ourselves on the board in this one. Before we go though, mate, I want to have a little chat about the FPL because we have Fantasy Premier League running, as you know, in association with Blood Husky. I'm just going to do some magic here on the screen now and change it over to a new image. There you go, boom, Blood Husky Fantasy Premier League. Ignore the code there because you can't actually join it. I'm just too lazy to come up with a new image. So, how are you getting on, mate? It looks like John Coyne is top again, second month in a row. Congratulations to John Coyne, and again, mate, get in contact with us, and we will get you that T-shirt sorted from Blood Husky because whoever's top of the league each month, Brian gets a T-shirt from Blood Husky.
Yeah, that's how it goes. We had an unfortunate, a bit of a glitch at the start of the week, but it starts, it will even out over a while. And John's there. He's done it again. And has he even claimed the first T-shirt? I mean, the guy he's killing it at the top of the Fantasy Premier League. So,
Could be waiting until the end of the season just to get a whole wardrobe's worth.
yeah, probably cheaper on the postage that way, I suppose. But yeah, like it's an interesting season. It really is because a lot of the smaller priced forwards were doing a lot of work. Pookie, Abraham, players like that at the start of the season. And lads that got on them, they're doing well. But Abraham's been blanking, Pookie's been blanking. I don't know what do you think. Is the Pookie train is that finished? Was that a flash in the pan, or will he come back and start being consistent? I don't
I
know.
think I think he will do well at home for Norwich in the Premier League. I think he'll keep banging them in. He'll probably end up with 12 to 15 for the season, I think. Yeah, I think he'll be a home player, if I'm being honest. I think the majority of his points and goals will come in Norwich or at home. He's a good player. There's no denying it. He knows where the net is. But there's always people that go out at the start of the season, isn't there, and get on this mad run, and everybody runs to start signing them, and everybody runs to start transferring them in, and then things go quiet. And what I've tried to learn, mate, over the past couple of seasons, and I've openly said I'm shite at FPL, I tend to look to the midfield more for my points these days rather than the front line, because there is only really X amount of choices that you can go with there. So I try to get a good balance of attacking midfield and attacking fullbacks. I've had an average week actually this week. I think I've finished up on about 64 points, which is
That's not an average week. Average week this week is 44 points, which is literally the average for this week, I think.
I meant
So
average
yeah,
for a superstar like me, mate, that is rocking it up in the top 25
yeah,
of the Fantasy
yeah,
Premier
yeah,
League.
yeah. No, that's a good, I think, yeah, probably the same. I think I had 68. Um, as I said to you earlier on, it is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Um, but the what you were mentioning about the attacking midfielders is a good point, because over the last couple of seasons, due to tactics, um, a lot of midfielders, people classified as midfielders, are actually much more likely to be an attacker as such, maybe someone in the front three. And these are the guys that are going up in price, and you have players up top that are the Agueros, Aubameyangs, that really keep their price, Harry Kane, and people have started to move away from them. Yeah, they have. They've started to put, you'll see a lot more teams, like the classic, the template. When did I start playing? Around 2012, 13, 14 maybe. No, 2013. And it was always 3-4-3. 3-4-3. Three strikers. Now you see a lot of people going, no, there's two, and they're cheap strikers. Because the amount of midfielders, the way the football is changing.
I
It
think
should,
there's like I think it's like 44% of people, something like that, have brought in Kevin De Bruyne or have Kevin De Bruyne currently in their team. Like,
yeah, his price is way too low, because he was being projected to play in a more of a withdrawn quarterback role. But it's, you see someone like him, and Sterling is a midfielder as well. The classifications can be a bit strange, and the prices are strange.
Salah, Mane,
Yeah,
again,
these guys
really
aren't.
attacking players.
Yeah, they're not midfielders as such. So you see that a lot. Like, basically, you had to have a template a few years ago. Say I went through the Suarez and Sturridge season. You had to have three strikers, and you'd have £5 million, £6 million midfielders. Now it's gone back that way. Now it's like all the money is like being put into midfielders, and the attacking fullback is now a new thing, where you've got Robertson, Luca Dean, who last year was just basically, who cares if he gets a clean sheet or not? He's probably going to get you an assist. He might even get you a goal. Like, that's unheard of for defenders. Defenders used to be in it for clean sheets, and that was the whole point. If some guy came up with an assist, well, hey, happy days. Now you're looking at defenders going, well, I spend £2 million on him more than I would normally, because it's a Trent Alexander-Arnold type player that's probably one of the most highest chance creating players in the game. It's crazy. Football has
Do you know
changed that way.
what? I used to have such a bias, and I've only started this season to really try and get away from this bias. I used to have a bias for big name players, so I'd look at players who had good past performances in my head, not
Yeah.
based on statistical analysis, and I would pick an 11 that I think would go and win a game, not an 11 that will go and get the most points, as you said, from chance creativity or clean sheets from midfield and things like that. And this season is the first season that I'm questioning myself every single time, and then I'm going in and I'm looking at the statistics, and it has proved quite fruitful for me so far. I'm doing okay. As you said, though, it is a sprint, or it is it is a long race. It's not a sprint, but I'm quite happy.
You played your free hit this week.
I did play my free hit, yes, because I wanted to make a shit ton of substitutions, because a lot of teams playing each other and stuff that I had players in, and I didn't want, it's never good. You never have a good week if you've got a group of players that are playing each other and you've got two or three from each club. I know you seem to have this thing, you don't like having more than two players from the one club, is that right?
Well, I do go against that, but it's usually detrimental. It can be, unless you have a situation like where you have now, where you have City and Liverpool that are just unignorable, where you have so many points. But that is a bit of an anomaly at the moment. So, but yeah, having more than two players from any one club usually is a bad idea, because if you have 3 City and 3 Liverpool. That's half your squad. Like now you have decent.
I find City really hard though because you never know who's going to start for City. So I always I kind of steer away from a lot of City players because they rotate so much.
Yeah, what they do and they don't. Like they rotate, but they have consistent sources from points. Like you will lose out on Raheem Sterling on one game week because he gets benched. Like the amount of people that were screaming at the walls in toilets and bedrooms and weird places all over when Raheem Sterling sat out an 8-0 win against Watford and they had him captain. I mean, that's City, that's Pep Guardiola. You're going to have to live with that if you want them. If you look at the end of the season, De Bruyne and Sterling are going to be up there in the top midfielding point scorers. Like so that's just it. You're going to have to suck it up when they don't play. You have to get your vice captain right, but they are exceptional. Anything other than that, if one player from a club is enough. Like you could say Leicester, right? Simple choice. If they're both fit and they're both firing, you can have Maddison or you can have Vardy. You can't have fucking both. You just can't, because they will blank and you will be screwed. If you've got a team like City that's doing ridiculous crap, Liverpool the same last year, you can just about get away with it, but it's a bad decision usually.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Look, ladies and gents, we're going to have to start winding this one down to a close. But most importantly, I want to know how you guys are getting on in Fantasy Premier League. Whether you're in our league or not, whether you've come across the channel and you just want to have a chat about Fantasy Premier League, please do let us know how you're getting on in the comment section below. If you are in the Blood Husky Anfield Agenda Premier League, let us know your league position. If you want to boast about it or if you want to make excuses like Mr. Morrissey here, who's like, oh, it's a long race, it's not a sprint. Look, mate, the cream rises to the top. Do you know what I'm saying?
It does at the end, and we will see where that cream is. That will not be Wexford cream. That's all I will say. It will be water.
Dems is fighting words. I'm Dublin cream, by the way, motherfucker.
No. You are a blow-in now. You are Wexford cream, my friend. I don't know. I don't think you can put that on the census, man. You live in Wexford. That's it. Like you left all Dublin privileges are gone.
Yeah, we haven't spoken about Mr. Crosby. I think he's middling. I think he's doing alright, quietly going about his business. But if he does get above the two of us, mate, we will fucking hear about it.
No, that's not going to happen. Don't worry. Look, I have to a degree put myself out there for this, right? So I should at least have a decent finish. But if I finish below Conor Crosby, I will quit Anfield Agenda.
Oh, I went out basically saying I was shy. I kind of set the bar really low for myself. Do you know what I mean? Making excuses at the start.
I had to sell you a show. It's Barnum and Bailey over here. I had to sell you a show. I told you it'd be brilliant, and there you go. But I will be the quitting Anfield Agenda version of Conor Crosby getting a Michael Edwards tattoo. If I finish below him, I will quit Anfield Agenda. I won't, but there you go.
Ladies and gents, let us know in the comment section below, out of myself, out of Connor and out of Brian, who's going to finish the furthest up the league table when it comes to the end of the season. I will be interested to see actually who people go for, Brian. Will they go for the chancer that is me? Will they go for the established FPL player that is yourself? Or the hit and hope Conor Crosby?
Oh my God. Please vote for me, because it'll be even funnier when I finish bomb, basically. Yeah. Yeah, this is interesting, actually. This is a different... Yeah, let's do it this way. Yeah, give your vote.
When we were in Florida, we both forgot to change our teams, and they ended up actually having... I think for me, it was my record points week, or one of my record points weeks so far, by forgetting to make any changes.
Can I just 100% wholly endorse that? Because at the end of last season, I gave up so fucking hard on this that I didn't even touch it for about 6 weeks, and I did nothing but green arrows. And anybody who knows what I'm talking about knows what green arrows are. You go up and up and up. I left it alone for 3 weeks, and I went up every single week. I woke up late, went up that week.
Another piece of advice, don't go near the site within an hour of kickoff on a Saturday. Just don't bother.
Yeah. Never wake up I go, oh, I'm gonna. No, it's just the amount of times I forgot to do something and I went up in it. It's just leave your team alone. If they're good choices, they're good choices.
You won't get near the site if you go within an hour kickoff. It'll
No,
just keep
screw that.
faulting.
Yeah, oh no, that whole thing. Yeah, trying to get into it 5 minutes before. Nah, forget about that. Forget about it altogether. Do it the night before, or just leave it.
Right, we're going to have to leave it there, ladies and gents. As I said, let us know in the comment section below. One, how you're getting on in the league, what your points were this week and where you are. And two, who's going to finish top or furthest up the league table out of myself, Brian Morrissey and Connor Crosby. As always, thank you to Blood Husky and congratulations to John on finishing top again this month. Mate, do get in contact and sort you out that t-shirt. Brian, international break coming up unfortunately, mate, but we do have the game against Leicester at the weekend. Thank you for joining me, mate. And do you know what? I don't really give you much credit, but I do fully believe that you're going to come marching back up that league table.
Oh, you can hear it, man. That's that noise behind you. That's me. I'm coming.
Oh, when the Morrissey comes marching in, you can hear him coming behind. Humpty Dumpty sitting up there waiting for a great fall at the top though, mate.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll scoop it up, but don't you worry.
Ladies and gents, thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to give the stream a thumbs up. And thank you to Brian Morrissey, and we will talk to you soon. Up the motherfucking Reds.